I've been thinking a lot lately about how worry just eats away at our lives.
Yeah, it's like a constant background noise that we can't seem to shut off. What sparked this thought for you?
Well, it's fascinating. There are actually methods to stop worrying and start living fully. It's all about changing our mental habits.
Changing mental habits? That sounds challenging. How do we even begin to do that?
One idea is to live in day-tight compartments. It's like, imagine a ship that's divided into sections by watertight
hmm
bulkheads. We should shut off the past and the future and live for today.
I see what you mean. So, focusing solely on the present moment?
Exactly. We can't change the past, and the future isn't here yet. Worrying about them just wastes energy.
But isn't it important to plan for the future, though?
Of course, we should plan, but without anxiety. It's about not letting future concerns rob us of today's peace.
That makes sense. So, how do we deal with immediate worries that pop up throughout the day?
There's this magic formula. First, ask yourself what's the worst that can possibly happen.
Okay, confronting the worst case scenario. Then what?
Second, accept that worst case scenario mentally. Just make peace with it.
That's tough but probably relieving. And the third step?
Then, calmly devote your time and energy to improving upon the worst, trying to make sure it
Right.
doesn't happen.
So by accepting the worst, we reduce our anxiety and can focus on solutions.
Exactly. It's liberating. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, we take action.
I like that approach. But what about worries that are more chronic, like health concerns or financial pressures?
Well, examining the facts helps. Often we worry about things that, statistically, are unlikely to happen.
Like realizing that the odds of certain fears coming true are actually quite low?
Yes, precisely. Using the law of averages can put our worries into perspective.
That's reassuring. But sometimes, even knowing the stats, we still can't shake the worry.
True, and that's where keeping busy comes in. An idle mind tends to dwell on negative thoughts.
So staying engaged in activities helps crowd out the worries.
Exactly. It's like filling a container. You can't have worry occupying your mind if it's already filled with constructive thoughts.
That reminds me of how exercise helps me. When I'm active, I worry less.
Absolutely. Physical activity is a great way to shift our focus and reduce anxiety.
Sometimes I struggle with not letting small things bother me. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's important not to let the termites of life eat away at our happiness. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Easier said than done, though.
True, but think about it this way. Will this issue matter a year from now? If not, then it's probably not worth our energy now.
That's a good point. Putting things in perspective helps reduce their impact.
And speaking of perspective, cultivating gratitude can really shift our mindset.
Oh, definitely. When I focus on what I'm thankful for, worries seem to fade.
Exactly. Counting our blessings instead of our troubles can transform our outlook.
But what about criticism from others? That often fuels my worries.
Well, it's crucial to remember not to let criticism unsettle us. We should do our best and not worry about what others say.
But sometimes criticism can be constructive, right?
Yes, you're right. Constructive criticism is valuable. We should learn from it, but not let it paralyze us with worry.
I get what you're saying. Take what's useful and discard the rest.
Exactly. And often people who criticize are revealing more about themselves than about us.
That's true. Maybe they're projecting their own insecurities.
Yes, so we shouldn't let it weigh us down. Instead, focus on being true to ourselves.
Speaking of being ourselves, sometimes I worry about fitting in or meeting others' expectations.
I hear you, but, there's no one else on earth like you. Embracing our uniqueness is key.
You're right. It's pointless to compare ourselves to others.
Exactly. Imitation can lead to frustration. We should find ourselves and be ourselves.
That takes courage, but it's rewarding.
Definitely. And when life hands us lemons, it's up to us to make lemonade.
Haha, classic saying, but so true. Turning negatives into positives.
Right. It's about transforming challenges into opportunities for growth.
Like seeing setbacks as learning experiences.
Exactly. And by adjusting our attitudes, we can change our entire experience.
This reminds me of that quote, "We cannot control the wind, but we can adjust our sails."
Yes, perfect analogy. It's all about how we respond to what life throws at us.
So, in essence, managing worry is about shifting our mindset?
Absolutely. By changing our thoughts, we change our lives.
That's powerful. I feel more equipped now to handle my worries.
I'm glad to hear that. Remember, it's a journey, and every day is an opportunity to practice.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing these insights. It's been enlightening.
Anytime. It's always great to discuss ways to improve our lives.
Agreed. Let's keep supporting each other on this path.
Absolutely. Together we can overcome anything that comes our way.